never thought I'd feel the sting of doubt in my own home. Every morning, I'd wake up to the smell of coffee and the soft chatter of Lara and Mia, thinking, this is normal. This is good. I'm leaving for work, honey, Lara would say, kissing my cheek. Mia's got her school project meeting. I'd nod, proud, and go to the office thinking my family was thriving. But that morning, the notification popped up on her phone. Just a glimpse, and something didn't sit right. What's that? I muttered, more to myself than anyone else, as a banner lit up the screen. Lara's head shot up. Nothing, just a reminder. She smiled too quickly, brushing past me. I need to run. Mia giggled behind her, holding her own phone. Mom's always busy, right, Dad? I forced a laugh. Yeah, busy. You two enjoy the day, all right? But I felt my chest tighten. Something was off. Later that night, I found myself lingering near the living room, pretending to read while actually listening. Lara and Mia whispered, voices low, hurried. I told him it was a work trip. He suspects nothing. Mia's voice wavered. But Mom, what if he finds out? He won't. Relax. Just keep smiling. Lara's tone was too sharp, too controlled. I felt a pit open in my stomach. Smiling? For what? Who are they smiling at, really? The next morning, I tried to shake it off. You girls ready for your trip? I asked over breakfast. Yep, Lara chirped, pouring coffee. Early start, very busy day. Mia nodded eagerly. Can't wait, Dad. You'll be fine at work. I studied their faces. The enthusiasm looked rehearsed, almost exaggerated. You sure everything's set? I pressed. Of course, Lara said, but her eyes flickered briefly toward Mia, and I caught it. A secret. A shared lie. At work, I couldn't focus. Every meeting blurred as my mind replayed the scene from yesterday. I asked myself if I was being paranoid, but the doubt gnawed at me relentlessly. Every message notification I thought I ignored suddenly seemed like a trail of breadcrumbs leading somewhere dark. I called my best friend, Tom. Hey, do you ever get the feeling someone's lying to you? Depends. About what? He asked, half laughing. About everything. What's supposed to be normal? You trust them, then you notice little things. And suddenly, nothing feels right. Sounds like you're overthinking, he said, but I could hear the doubt in his tone. Even he didn't know. That evening, I came home early, pretending it was casual. Lara greeted me with a smile that didn't reach her eyes. You're home early, she said. Everything okay? Just finished faster than expected, I replied. But I lingered near the kitchen watching. She pulled Mia aside. Act normal, she whispered. What do you mean? Mia asked softly. I pretended to read the newspaper, ears straining. I didn't need to know all the details yet, just enough to confirm what I feared. Days passed, each one a little heavier than the last. Messages flashed, hushed conversations, sudden trips announced at the last minute. Each lie stacked on top of the last until I felt trapped in a house full of smiling strangers. Finally, I muttered to myself one night, staring at the empty hallway. I can't ignore it anymore. I made a plan, not reckless, not impulsive. I'd follow them. Next trip I'd watch, I'd gather proof. If there was nothing, fine. But if there was, I needed to see it with my own eyes. Not rumors, not half glimpses, truth. Lara kissed me goodnight, her perfume sweet and familiar. Don't worry, darling, everything's fine. I nodded, feeling a hollow ache. Yeah, everything's fine. Alone in the dark, I reviewed every little inconsistency, every tiny contradiction. Why did Mia suddenly insist on staying late? At school? Why did Lara leave her phone in the living room one day and refuse to answer the next? I replayed their words in my head. Act normal. Keep smiling. He suspects nothing. My hands shook slightly as I traced the messages I'd glimpsed. A name, a place. Nothing I could act on yet, but enough to ignite suspicion. Enough to make me feel a surge of fear and anger I hadn't known I carried. I need to know. I whispered into the empty room. I need to see it for myself. And for the first time in months, maybe years, I felt that cold, focused determination. The spark that something was about to change. Something in my perfect life had broken. I didn't know what I would do when I caught them, but I knew this. I could never go back to trusting blindly. Tomorrow, I would follow them. I would uncover the truth. And when I did, nothing would ever be the same. I parked a few blocks away from the cafe where Lara had said she had a business meeting. My hands tightened around the steering wheel, heart hammering. Why am I doing this? I whispered to myself. But I couldn't stop. Not anymore. I saw her walk in, heels clicking, perfectly composed. And then, him, the man from the notification. His hand brushed hers casually, but there was something too familiar about the gesture, something intimate. Lara! Hey, he said, smiling. Hi, she replied, a little too quickly. Her smile seemed practiced. I gritted my teeth. Is this what I think it is? I followed them at a distance as they left the cafe. They didn't go to an office, they went shopping. Luxury stores, expensive bags. The receipts would have made my stomach turn. Just look at this. It's perfect, Lara said, holding a bag up. I told you it would fit, the man replied. He laughed lightly, brushing a strand of hair from her face. I ducked behind a display window, my hands shaking. They lied. Every word was a lie. Later, Mia called. Dad, everything okay at work? Her voice sounded innocent. Yeah, just busy, I muttered, trying to sound normal. You girls have fun? Oh, we will, she said, a little too bright. I hung up, pacing in my car. Fun? Is this what she calls fun? Lying to my face? Back at the hotel lobby, I overheard them talking in whispers. Did you bring it? Lara asked. Yeah, but he's parked outside, the man said, and I realized he knew I could be watching. I clenched my fists. Damn it, I muttered, hiding behind a column. I need proof, something undeniable. Later, I called Tom again. I saw her, man. She's not who I thought she was. Whoa, calm down. Are you sure you're not imagining things? I wish I were. I saw her with him, laughing, touching, buying things we don't even need. She lied about work trips. She lied to me. Jesus. That's bad. Don't confront her yet. Wait. Gather evidence. I nodded, even though he couldn't see me. Yeah. Wait. Patience. I parked outside our neighborhood that night, watching the house. The porch light flicked on, then off. Inside, I imagined their smiles, their secrets. Every small inconsistency I'd brushed off before now felt like a knife twisting. I remembered last week when Lara told me, I'll be back late from work, don't wait up. I hadn't thought twice. But now, I realized every excuse, every emergency meeting had a hidden motive. I whispered to myself. I ignored it all, trusted blindly. And now, look. Mia's laughter echoed from upstairs in our apartment. That same innocent tone I once loved now felt like a betrayal. Called a colleague at work, David. Hey, can I ask you something weird? Sure, shoot, he said. Do you ever get double lives? People pretending to be someone they're not? David paused. You mean like lying, hiding stuff? Yeah, happens. Why? I think my wife is living one, he sighed. Man, that sucks. But don't act rash. Gather proof. Then you'll know exactly what you're dealing with. I ended the call and paced my apartment. Every corner, every memory of Lara smiling, Mia hugging me seemed tainted now. How much did I miss? How blind was I? I remembered last Christmas when Lara worked late and Mia helped a friend with a project. I thought nothing of it. But now, I pieced together moments, tiny contradictions, and a nagging feeling I'd ignored for too long. I sat on the couch, head in my hands. I can't confront them blindly, I muttered. I need proof. I need everything. My phone buzzed. A message from Lara. Don't wait up. Long day ahead. I stared at it. My chest tightened. Long day, yeah, for lies, I whispered aloud, almost laughing bitterly. I'll see for myself. Next trip, next meeting. I'll know the truth, no matter what. I planned the next few days in my head, then follow them discreetly, record, photograph, document, and above all, don't let them see it coming. I lay in bed that night, eyes open, mind racing. Every detail of the day replayed. The smile, the touch, the hidden calls, the luxury bags. Every lie, every small betrayal. And now it's time to find the rest. I knew one thing. After this, nothing would ever feel the same. I walked through the front door, keys in hand, and froze. Lara and the man I'd seen were standing in the living room, laughing. Not quietly, not carefully, but like they didn't even notice I existed. Hey, I said, my voice tighter than I intended. Lara jumped, turning quickly, a smile plastered on her face. Oh, you're home early, everything okay? Yeah. Just okay, I muttered, trying to sound casual, but my heart was racing. The man gave a small wave. Hi, didn't expect to see you. Who is this? I demanded, stepping closer, my fists clenching at my sides. Lara's smile faltered. He's a friend. From work. Just visiting, that's all. I laughed bitterly. A friend? At my house, laughing with my wife? You're lying. No, I'm not, she said too quickly. Her tone cracked for a second, then she composed herself. I mean, yes, we know each other, but it's nothing like that. Really, I shook my head. Nothing like that? You lied about work trips. You lied about Mia's school projects. Every excuse, every single one was a lie. Mia peeked around the corner of the kitchen. Dad, it's not what you think? Not what I think? I echoed, voice rising. Then, explain the shopping? The late-night dinners? The messages I saw? Lara bit her lip. I didn't want to worry you. Everything was under control. Under control? I shouted. You've been hiding this from me for months. Months! And you think under control excuses. Mia's eyes welled up. Dad, please. Mom just wanted to make things better for us. I didn't know it was wrong. Better? I spat. Better for who? You? Her? Because it sure wasn't better for me. I trusted you. Every single day I believed your lies. The man cleared his throat awkwardly. I didn't mean to. Don't, I snapped, cutting him off. This isn't about you right now. Lara's hands trembled. You don't understand. I had to make it work. For us. For our family. For our family? I scoffed, pacing. Do you even hear yourself? You've been living a double life. Do you have any idea how it feels to watch the people you love betray you? I thought I was helping, she whispered, eyes glossy. Helping? By lying? By sneaking around? Behind my back? Is that how you help? I couldn't stop my voice from shaking, from breaking. I gave you everything. Every hour, every cent, every ounce of trust I had. Mia stepped forward, voice small. Dad, I'm sorry. I followed her because I didn't know better. I knelt down, looking into her eyes, trying to see the child I once trusted. Mia, you have to understand. You helped this happen. Even if you didn't realize it, you were part of it. And now you have to live with that choice. Lara pulled back, snapping suddenly. Enough. You're making it sound worse than it is. I did everything for this family, for you, even if you can't see it. See it? I shouted, fists clenched. I see it. I see the lies, the secret meetings, the shopping sprees. I see you acting like a perfect wife while sneaking around behind my back. You don't understand everything, she yelled. Some things I can't even tell you. Can't tell me? I spat. Or won't tell me? There's a difference, Lara, and I think you already chose not to tell me. The man shifted awkwardly. Maybe we should leave you two. Alone? I turned to him, glare sharp. Yes. Leave and stay out of my life. He nodded quickly and walked toward the door. Lara followed him with her eyes, then turned to me, tears streaming. Please. I wanted to fix things. I didn't mean to hurt you. Hurt me? I laughed, bitterly. You destroyed me. You destroyed the life I thought I had. I'm sorry, she said, her voice trembling. I thought I was protecting us. I never wanted this to happen. I just wanted to make things right. You call lies making things right? I demanded, pacing. I gave you everything, and you repaid me with deception. Mia's small voice whispered, Dad, please, don't be too hard. Too hard? I spat. You think this is about being hard? This is about truth. This is about justice for the life you've stolen. From me. Lara sank onto the couch, burying her face in her hands. I didn't know how else to handle it. I stopped, breathing heavily. I need time. I can't just forgive this. I can't just pretend it didn't happen. Please, she pleaded. Give me a chance. I'll explain everything. I'll do anything. I shook my head. I need proof. I need evidence that this isn't just words. I need to see every lie, every secret, every betrayal. Lara looked up, eyes wide. You're going to spy on me? Yes, I said calmly, but my voice carried steel. I'm going to know the truth. And then I'll decide what to do. Mia hugged me tightly. Dad, please. I held her for a moment, my anger warring with the remnants of love. I have to do this. I can't let them fool me anymore. I walked into the kitchen, grabbing a notepad. Every message, every call, every secret meeting, I'm documenting it all. And when the time comes, you'll have no lies left to hide behind. Lara's shoulders slumped, her defiance fading into desperation. I never wanted to hurt you. You already did, I said, voice low but sharp. Now, I decide the rest. Alone later that night, I replayed every memory, every lie, every smile, every excuse. Anger, heartbreak, disbelief, and a burning need for control surged through. Me, I whispered into the dark, I will know everything. And when I do, nothing will be the same. I sat at my desk, phone in one hand, notebook in the other, and whispered to myself, patience. Proof first. Confrontation later. The words tasted bitter but necessary. I wasn't ready to explode yet. Not until I had evidence I couldn't ignore. I opened Lara's messaging app on her laptop while she was out, again for a meeting. Every text, every call log, every notification I'd recorded in secret began to form a pattern. I jotted it down meticulously. She's going to notice eventually, I muttered aloud, even though no one was there. You think too much, man, Tom said through the speaker on my desk. Are you sure you want to do this? Spying? Tracking? It can get messy. I can't do nothing, I replied, voice low but sharp. I need to know what I'm dealing with. Otherwise, I'm just blind. Vulnerable. Do you understand? I get it. But don't let it consume you. I won't, I lied, though part of me knew he was wrong. I already felt consumed. I need control. For once, I need to control what they've been hiding from me. Later, I positioned a small camera in the living room, every angle covered, every movement recorded. I even intercepted her emails, nothing invasive, just enough to see if her work trips matched reality. Lara returned, home, and I smiled faintly, keeping my tone neutral. Hey, you back early today? Just finished fast, she said, feigning casual. How's everything? Everything's fine, I replied, voice calm, even as I scanned her movements. She hesitated slightly, placing her bag down with more care than usual. Her eyes flicked toward the corner of the room, toward the hidden camera. You're acting different lately, she said, a hint of suspicion in her voice. I shrugged. Just stressed at work, I guess. Her gaze lingered, sharp, and I felt a chill. She's noticing. She's always noticing more than I think. Later that evening, I spoke to Tom again. I think she's on to me. The way she moves, the way she talks. She knows something's different. Good, he said. Let her get nervous. Just don't let it turn into paranoia for you. I won't. Mostly, I muttered, staring at the notebook filled with logs, messages, and sketches of surveillance angles. I can feel the control shifting. For once, I'm not blind. I see everything. Mia came in, holding her school books. Dad, can we watch a movie later? I forced a smile. Sure, kiddo, whatever you want, she hesitated. You're different lately. Are you upset? I shook my head, keeping my voice calm. Just busy, Mia. Just busy. She didn't look convinced, but she didn't push. I watched her leave, the weight of silence pressing down. They don't see how far this goes yet. They don't know. I see everything. The next morning, our housekeeper, Mrs. Jennings, stopped by. Morning, Mr. Carter. Everything all right? Yes. Fine, I said, voice casual, though inside I was tense. She noticed the slight tremor in my hand. You seem distracted, she said. Nothing I should worry about? No, just work stress, I replied. Her gaze lingered, perceptive, but she didn't press. Once she left, I muttered, Good, no one suspects yet. But inside, I felt haunted. Every lie I uncovered, every secret I recorded, made the house feel colder, emptier. That night, Lara approached me while I pretended to work late. Why are you so quiet? You barely talk to me these days. Just thinking, I replied, calmly. Work stuff. You've changed, she said softly. I don't know if I like it. I like clarity, I said, voice low, deliberate. I like knowing the truth, don't you? Her eyes widened, a flicker of fear, or was it realization, crossing her face. I guess so. Guessing isn't enough, I continued. I need proof. And I will get it. Everything you've hidden, I will know. Every message, every meeting, every lie. She bit her lip and looked away. I didn't mean for it to go this far. I know, I said softly. But it did. And now I'm not letting it slide. Not anymore. I spent the following days moving quietly, intercepting messages, recording conversations, noting every pattern. Every trip, every excuse, every touch of her phone or whispered word was logged. The house was a silent battlefield. Tension thick, enough to choke on. Late one night, I found myself speaking aloud again, whispering to the empty room. Every lie, every secret. I'll see it all. I'll have it. And then finally, I'll know what to do. The more I planned, the more detached I felt. The anger was still there, burning, but it was controlled, focused. I wasn't just reacting anymore. I was preparing, strategizing. Mia's laughter echoed from upstairs, Lara's soft steps on the hardwood. Everything seemed innocent, but I knew better, and they would find out soon enough, though not yet. I sank into the chair, notebook open, fingers tapping rhythmically. Power is seeing the truth, I whispered, and right now I have it. Soon they will feel it too. I realized as the house grew quiet and shadows stretched across the floor that I was powerful now, but haunted. Every secret I uncovered, every lie I documented came at a cost. Sleep, peace, innocence, all gone. But I couldn't stop. I would gather every piece of proof, every detail. And when I confronted them, it would be absolute. I closed the door behind me, heart pounding, evidence in hand. Lara, Mia, we need to talk, I said, voice steady but cold. Lara looked up from the sofa, pretending calm. Oh? What about, darling? I slammed the folder on the table. Don't play games. I know everything. Lara's eyes widened slightly. Everything? I don't know what you mean. I opened the folder, spreading receipts, screenshots, and photos. These are from your so-called work trips. These messages, these shopping sprees, every dinner, every meeting. With him, I said, pointing to the photos of the man she'd been meeting. Mia shrank back, whispering, Dad, I cut her off. No, Mia, you were part of this too. I saw the messages you helped hide, the stories you told me. Stop pretending you're innocent. Lara's face flushed. I can explain. You're misunderstanding. Misunderstanding? I shouted, voice echoing in the living room. You lied. You lied to my face every day. Work trips. School projects. Every excuse, lies. How do you justify this? You don't understand, Lara snapped. I did it for us, for this family. For this family? I laughed bitterly. Do you hear yourself? You spent our money on luxury stores while I worked my hands to the bone. You hid your calls, your meetings, every little thing. And you expect me to just understand? Lara started, but I raised my hand. Stop. Just stop. I have proof. Every lie, every manipulation, every secret, and it ends now. Mia's voice trembled. Dad, please. Mom didn't mean it like that. She didn't mean it, I echoed. Mia, you watched her lie to me. You smiled while she spun stories. Don't act innocent now. I didn't know, Mia protested, tears streaming. I just followed her. I didn't want to upset you. You didn't know? I asked, incredulous. Or you didn't care? Mia looked down, silence filling the room. I felt the anger and heartbreak clash inside me, almost too much to bear. Lara leaned forward, voice softening. Please, you have to understand. She's young. She doesn't know better. You can't blame her entirely. I'm not blaming her entirely, I snapped. I'm blaming you. You used her, manipulated her, dragged her into your lies. And now look at her. I gestured to Mia, who was shaking, sobbing quietly. She's scared, Lara cried. She's my daughter. You can't take that from her. Scared, I spat. She's afraid of the truth, and you've been the architect of that fear for months. Lara's hands trembled as she reached toward me. I love you. I love this family. Don't let anger destroy everything. Love? I asked, voice low, venomous. Is that what you call lying every day, hiding your life, pretending I don't see it? You don't love me. You love the idea of control, of getting away with things. She started again, but I interrupted. Stop talking in riddles. I have proof. Photos, receipts, messages, recordings, everything. I slammed the folder. Again. You've manipulated me, manipulated Mia, and I trusted you, and now I see it all. Mia clutched her chest, sobbing. Dad, please, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. You should have thought of that before you helped her. I shouted, my voice cracked, raw with betrayal and anger. I gave you my trust. I gave you everything. And this is what I get? Lara's eyes filled with tears. I didn't want this. I tried to protect you, us. Protect me? I laughed bitterly. By lying? By sneaking around? By letting me be blind while you lived a double life? You don't understand everything, she said, desperation creeping in. I understand enough, I said, pointing at her. I understand enough to know I can't stay in this house with lies, manipulation, and betrayal hanging over me. Lara's voice softened, almost pleading. Please, think of Mia. Think of us. Don't throw away everything over anger. I swallowed hard, looking at my stepdaughter. Her face was wet with tears, guilt written all over her. Mia, do you know what she's done? I didn't know, she whispered. I swear. I just followed her. I didn't know it was wrong. I looked at her, seeing both the child she was and the part of her that had been caught in lies. You're scared. You don't know what to do. But I do. I can't forgive this. Not yet. Not like this. Lara stepped closer, voice trembling. Please, just one chance. I'll fix this. I can— No, I shouted. You've had chances. You've had months to stop lying, stop manipulating, and you didn't. I can't trust you here anymore. Not now. Not like this. Tears ran freely down Lara's cheeks. You can't. You can't do this. I can, I said firmly, voice quieting but steady. I will. You need to leave, both of you, for now. Until this is resolved. Until trust can be rebuilt. And even then it won't be the same. Mia sobbed, clutching Lara's hand. Dad, please, don't make me leave her. I knelt to her level, voice soft but resolute. Mia, I love you. I always will. But the lies, they're bigger than love right now. You need to understand that. This isn't punishment. It's reality, Lara screamed, lunging toward me. You're ruining everything. You don't know what you're doing. I do, I said calmly, standing. I know exactly what I'm doing. I'm reclaiming my life. You'll leave tonight. Collect your things. I'll call a place for you to stay. Mia sobbed quietly, letting go of her mother's hand. Lara slumped into the sofa, defeated. I took a deep breath, the adrenaline slowly leaving me. It's over, for now. Don't try to argue. Don't try to manipulate. Just go. They didn't move. I waited, heart heavy but resolute. Finally, Lara grabbed her bag. Mia hesitated, looking at me. Dad, I love you, she whispered. I love you too, I said, voice breaking slightly. But some things can't stay the same. They left. I closed the door behind them, hands trembling. Silence engulfed the house. I sank onto the couch, emotionally drained, chest aching, mind racing with betrayal and relief. I whispered into the empty room. It's done, for now. But I'll rebuild. I'll regain control. And next time, I won't just watch. The house was quiet, unbearably quiet. I wandered from room to room, my hands brushing over surfaces they once touched. God, this silence, I muttered aloud. My phone buzzed. Tom's name flashed. How's it going? He asked when I answered. Empty, I admitted. I thought this would feel like relief, but it just hurts. Lonely. Wrong, right? I can't tell. You did what you had to do, he said firmly. You caught them. You acted. That counts. I know. But was it rash? Maybe I should have forgiven, tried to talk, rebuilt. I trailed off. Would you trust them again? He asked simply. No, I said instantly, voice low. Not after everything. Not after months of lies, manipulation, deception. I can't. Pretend like nothing happened. Later my aunt called. So Hale, I heard. Are you all right? I don't know, I admitted, pacing the living room. It's worse than I imagined. I keep replaying it. Did I do the right thing? Did I ruin everything? You did what you had to do, she said gently. Sometimes justice doesn't feel clean. Sometimes doing right feels messy. But protecting yourself, your dignity, that's not wrong. I keep thinking about Mia, I whispered, her face when I told her. I love her, but I had to draw the line. Do I sound cruel? Not cruel, she replied. Strong, necessary. Sometimes love is knowing when to let go. You gave them a chance. They chose their path. You chose yours. I nodded slowly, staring out the window. Memories came unbidden. Birthdays, dinners, small moments when I trusted blindly, and the betrayals, small and large, tucked behind smiles and excuses. How did I miss it all? I muttered. Was I too blind, too trusting? At work, colleagues noticed the change. David asked, "Everything okay at home?" I shrugged, forcing a neutral tone. Just adjustments. Things happened. I had to act. "People are talking," he said cautiously. "Some say you overreacted. Some say you did the right thing. Be ready." "I know," I replied. I don't care what they think. I need to focus on me, on reality, on truth." Walking home later, I ran into Mrs. Jennings, our neighbor. She hesitated. I heard. "Are you sure you did the right thing?" I looked at her, tired eyes, weighed down with weeks of planning, confrontation, and aftermath. It hurt me to do it, yes. But it had to be done. Lies can't live in a home where honesty matters. She nodded slowly, almost knowingly. Sometimes you have to break things to rebuild them stronger, even if it's painful. Back in my apartment, I sat alone, thinking. Every lie I uncovered, every manipulation I endured, seemed heavier now. But then, a subtle feeling of relief threaded through me. I had acted. I had taken control. And in the distance, I imagined consequences unfolding for them. I imagined Lara, trying to maintain her social circle, presenting a perfect image while whispers of her deception began to spread. I imagined her business contacts questioning her integrity, suspicious deals failing, and Mia. I imagined her realizing sooner or later that loyalty built on lies collapses under scrutiny. "They'll face their own karma," I whispered. "I don't have to do it for them." Still, I questioned myself constantly. Did I overstep? Did I crush the wrong people? Could I have handled it differently? My aunt's words returned. Sometimes justice doesn't feel clean. And I realized she was right. Justice is never neat. Sometimes it's heavy, messy, emotional, but necessary. The next few days passed in a blur. Calls from friends concerned and curious filled my phone. Some asked harshly, "Did you really kick them out?" Others quietly murmured, "You had every reason." I had to. I repeated more to myself than anyone else. I can't live in a house built on lies. I can't forgive betrayal that easily, not when it's deliberate, repeated, manipulative. I revisited the evidence, scrolling through messages, photos, receipts. Every lie replayed in my mind like a painful film. Yet beneath the pain, I felt clarity. I could see the patterns, the manipulation, the betrayal, and in that clarity I felt power. Not control over them, not revenge, but control over myself, my choices, my life. "Power isn't vengeance," I whispered aloud. "It's knowledge, awareness, knowing what you'll tolerate, what you won't." That night, alone in the apartment, I allowed myself a brief, bitter smile. I wasn't free from pain, but I was free from manipulation. I wasn't healing completely, but I was moving forward. And somewhere in the unfolding of their lives, Lara's social failures, Mia's growing realization, I felt karma quietly at work. It didn't erase the heartbreak, didn't heal the emptiness, but it confirmed one truth. Deception has consequences. And some lessons, painful as they are, can't be ignored, I whispered into the quiet apartment. I survived the lies. I survived betrayal. And now, I'll rebuild. I'll find peace. Slowly, but surely. Silence answered me, heavy but honest. For the first time since discovering the deception, I felt I wasn't entirely powerless. I had chosen my path, and now the rest would unfold on its own. Truth, consequences, and maybe eventually closure. I sat at the cafe, coffee in hand, phone buzzing constantly with news alerts and messages. I hadn't checked much about Lara or Mia since that day, but curiosity gnawed at me. "Don't look," I muttered to myself. though my thumb betrayed me, scrolling through the notifications. Another scandal? I whispered as a headline popped up. Laura Jennings' boutique deal collapses amid allegations of mismanagement. I frowned, trying to keep calm. She always loved looking perfect on the surface, I murmured aloud. But the cracks were always there. Always. Tom's call came at that moment. Hey, you're checking already? He said, teasing. I can't help it, I replied, voice low. It's like watching a storm they built themselves. You're enjoying this, he said with a smirk. I'm not enjoying it, I said almost defensively. It's satisfying in a quiet way. No action from me, no revenge planned, just karma doing its thing. You've changed, he said quietly. Last time you were burning with anger. Now you seem calm, more in control. I am in control, I said firmly. Control over my life, my choices, my peace. That's more powerful than yelling, scheming, or hurting anyone back. Later, scrolling further, I saw Mia's social media posts. Her followers were leaving harsh comments, questioning her honesty and integrity. She had deleted most photos of luxury trips, but the internet never forgets. She's learning, I said softly, almost smiling. The lessons we dodge don't disappear. They follow us. I leaned back, eyes closing briefly, reflecting. For months I had been consumed with rage and betrayal. I imagined confrontations, revenge fantasies, the satisfaction of exposing them in public. But now, seeing them unravel on their own, I realized the greatest victory wasn't punishment. It was my own peace. I whispered to myself, the more I chase revenge, the more it controls me. Let karma work. Let it teach them what I cannot. Tom called again. So, any chance you're feeling better? I am, I admitted. I wake up without that heavy dread. I don't think about schemes or lies. I just watch and reflect. You're calm now, he said, noting the change. You're stronger. I had to be, I said quietly. I had to survive the lies without losing myself. That evening, I ran into Sarah, an old colleague. So, Hale, you look different. Happier, maybe? I smiled faintly. I am. Slowly. It's like I finally stopped carrying weight that wasn't mine. What happened? She asked, noticing my calm demeanor. Let's just say, truth has a way of showing itself, I replied carefully, sipping my coffee. She nodded, sensing the boundaries. You seem free. I am, I whispered, more to myself than to her. Free from manipulation, free from lies, free from carrying the burden of what they wanted me to believe. Later that night, at home, I sat alone and allowed my thoughts to wander. I remembered Laura's pleading face, Mia's sobbing, the chaos of confrontation. Back then, rage had clouded everything. Now, clarity replaced it. Anger. It's heavy, I said aloud. It weighs on you longer than it does anyone else. Letting go, choosing peace. That's the real strength. I checked my phone one more time. Headlines, whispers from mutual acquaintances, comments from friends. Laura's boutique deals were failing, her social image collapsing, and Mia's trustworthiness questioned. I didn't feel triumph exactly, more like quiet confirmation that I built this themselves, I murmured. I didn't touch a thing, and it's enough. It's perfect in its way. My mind drifted to the past, to the years I had trusted them blindly. I lost months of peace, I whispered. But now I gained something more valuable. My sanity, my life, my clarity. The phone buzzed again. This time, a message from someone new. Sarah. Coffee tomorrow? Catch up properly? I smiled faintly. Maybe life isn't over, I muttered. Maybe it's just beginning. Alone in my apartment, I reflected further. Revenge is tempting. It calls to you, whispers that justice is pain inflicted. But real power is distance. Watching, surviving, learning, protecting yourself. The city lights outside shimmered through the window. I pictured Lara, frantic, calling colleagues, trying to salvage respect she had lost. I pictured Mia grappling with guilt and the sting of public scrutiny. They were paying for their choices, naturally, without me lifting a finger. Funny, I whispered, leaning back, how letting go gives you more control than holding on. I thought about the future, and for the first time in months, hope stirred quietly. I could focus on work, on friends, on myself. I could meet someone new without carrying shadows from the past. I could rebuild, not on anger or revenge, but on honesty and self-respect. Tom called one last time that evening. "You're..." smiling. "You really are okay, huh?" "I am," I said, a soft, almost private laugh escaping me. "I don't need to fight anymore. They'll face what they deserve. I'll face what I choose, to live fully, to trust wisely, to love cautiously but openly." "You've learned well," he said. "Yes," I whispered. "And now, I move forward. Nothing broken can haunt me. Nothing lies hidden can trick me. And nothing they do can touch my peace." I looked around my apartment, quiet and empty, yet comforting. No more shadows of betrayal, no more whispers of deceit. I finally understood that empowerment didn't come from revenge, confrontation, or punishment. It came from survival, self-growth, and the unwavering choice to protect my own heart. "The past is theirs," I said softly. "The future, that's mine." And for the first time in months, I felt calm, whole, and truly free. I woke to sunlight streaming through the curtains, the apartment quiet, calm, almost serene. It wasn't the silence of absence anymore. It was the silence of peace. I stretched, feeling the weight of months of betrayal and chaos finally lifting. "Tom's..." voice buzzed through my phone. "Morning. Coffee later? I want updates on the new you." "I'm free," I said, smiling. "Maybe I'll see a version of myself I forgot existed." "You'll like him," he said. "Trust me. He's calmer, smarter, less angry, more... you." I laughed softly. "Hopefully. I've got a lot of unpacking to do, emotionally and literally." By noon, I had started going through old drawers, boxes and closets, reminders of what had been, of what I'd trusted blindly. Lara's favorite mug, Mia's old school projects, even the photos I'd hesitated to touch for months. "Out you go," I muttered as I stuffed the first box, placing it by the door. No place here for reminders of lies. The doorbell rang. I jumped, surprised, but opened it to find Mrs. Jennings smiling. "Morning, Sohail. You look... different. Lighter." "I am," I said quietly, motioning her in. "I'm finally... letting go." She nodded almost knowingly. "Good. You deserve peace. Don't let the past weigh you down." "I won't," I said, though my voice wavered. "I've learned what matters. Not revenge, not bitterness, just clarity." As she left, I unpacked another box, finding a photo of Lara and me on a vacation years ago. I stared at it, letting the memories flood, some happy, some tainted. Then I whispered, "Thank you for the lessons, but it's time to move forward, the fee." Phone rang again, my mentor, Uncle Faisal. "Sohail, how are you holding up?" "I'm better," I admitted. "I'm rebuilding, slowly, carefully, emotionally, financially, socially." "That's the right approach," he said. "Don't rush healing. Don't rush decisions. Trust yourself, not the shadows of others." "I'm learning," I said. "It's hard, but necessary." I even started going through investments Lara managed, correcting mistakes, reclaiming what's mine. "That's excellent," he said warmly. "Remember, real power is protecting yourself, not destroying others. Karma can handle the rest." "Exactly," I said, smiling. "I'm letting it unfold without interference." Later, I met Tom and Sarah at a quiet cafe. "You seem different," Sarah said immediately. Happier, calmer. I am, I said, sipping my coffee. It's strange. Freedom feels heavy at first, but once you adjust, it's light, peaceful. Tom grinned. I told you. Less anger, more you. I still carry the lessons, I said, but no longer the pain. I've even started taking my art seriously again, painting, something I neglected while dealing with everything. Good for you, Sarah said. You deserve to thrive, not just survive. And thrive I will, I said firmly. I'm reclaiming my home, my life, my joy. Lara and Mia, their choices led them elsewhere. I won't chase them. I won't resent them. I'll focus on what I can build. A few days later, I stood on the balcony, gazing at the city below. A notification popped up. A mutual acquaintance posting about Lara's boutique closing completely. I felt nothing but quiet acknowledgement. No satisfaction, no gloating. Just recognition that reality had a way of catching up. She'll manage, I whispered, in her own way, and I won't be part of it anymore. I returned inside, sitting at my desk. Papers, art supplies, and personal projects lay spread before me. It's time to build, not dwell, I murmured. I began sketching, lines forming, images of freedom, of clarity, of a life unburdened by deceit. The phone buzzed again. A message from Sarah. Your paintings are incredible. Coffee tomorrow? Talk more about them? I smiled. Life is funny, I said aloud. It offers new beginnings when you clear the old mess away. Over the next few weeks, friends and family checked in regularly. Tom called often, teasing me about my rebirth, while my aunt sent notes of encouragement. You're learning patience, she wrote one morning. Patience with yourself, with life, with growth. That's more valuable than any vengeance you could dream of. I nodded quietly, thinking about the months of anger and betrayal, about confrontation, fallout, and karma. I had survived all of it. I had endured the lies, reclaimed control, and let natural justice take its course. It was freeing. One afternoon, while clearing out the last of Lara's things, I found a box labeled Mia. My hands trembled slightly, but I opened it carefully. Old notebooks, a few letters, drawings she had done for me over the years. I smiled softly, placing a few in a keepsake drawer. She was part of the past, I said aloud. But she's still human, still learning, still growing. I moved the rest to the donation box. No room for bitterness here, I whispered. Only growth. Later that evening, I invited Sarah over to see my new workspace. You really did transform this place, she said, eyes wide. It's you. Calm, strong, creative. I'm trying, I said, nervous but open. I'm learning that rebuilding isn't about erasing the past. It's about reclaiming space in your heart and mind for things that matter. She smiled, resting a hand on mine. You're doing more than trying. You're succeeding. I felt warmth spread through me. Not just from her presence, but from the realization that life could offer joy again. That even after betrayal, after heartbreak, there was room for connection, for trust, for hope. The next morning, I packed away the last box of evidence, receipts, and memories of Lara and Mia's deceit. I labeled it and placed it in storage. Done, I said quietly. No ghosts, no shadows, only lessons. As I stood on the balcony, I imagined Lara and Mia navigating their own lives. I didn't wish them harm, didn't crave their failure, though it seemed karma had already intervened. I simply felt untethered, free from the chains of resentment. I can't control them, I whispered to myself, but I can control me. And that's enough. My phone buzzed again, another friend checking in. How's the new chapter? Promising, I said. I feel complete in a way. Not perfect, but whole. And finally, ready to move forward. Evening came, and I lit a small candle by my desk, watching the flame flicker. "Here's to clarity, to freedom, to peace," I murmured. "Here's to new beginnings." The city lights outside shimmered, but inside, the apartment glowed softly, warm and comforting. I had reclaimed my home, my life, my future. I had faced betrayal, heartbreak, and moral doubt, and emerged intact, unbroken, and wiser. I smiled faintly, thinking of the past, the lessons, and the journey ahead. "This is mine now," I said. "Not their lies, not their games. Mine. And I choose to fill it with truth, purpose, and hope." As I turned to my desk, ready to paint, to work, to live fully, I whispered softly, almost in awe, "The past belongs to them, the present belongs to me, and the future is whatever I decide it to be." And with that, I felt it. The weight of betrayal lifted, replaced by clarity, freedom, and the quiet thrill of truly starting over.